We need to talk. There have been many weeks and months now since an update on this channel, and I feel like we owe it to you to explain a little bit why. Last late summer when we started digging and we were putting out videos of everything that was happening, we thought we had gotten financed by a private financier, and we were waiting and waiting. A wire transfer was not coming in, and they said, oh, there must be something wrong. We'll go check the routing number, give it a couple days, and we'll get it squared away. And after a couple times of that, it obviously still didn't really dawn on us that anything was wrong. So our excavator eventually started excavating, and you know, we were just gung-ho. I was videoing it, and you've already seen a couple of those videos of us, you know, digging this hole out and chipping up the rock. Well, it would slowly unravel as we continued to not have the wire transfer and the funds for this construction project not be put into our account. As time continued to go on, we got a little more nervous, and then started making calls. Well, continued to make calls, but making calls to the finance company, them giving excuses like, oh, there was fraud or something in the bank account that held the funds, and then, oh, her health was bad, and she started kind of snapping at us like, sorry you couldn't get your project done and this and that. Well, meanwhile, we already had someone doing work, a contractor that we had committed to paying, and actually that cost way more than we thought because of digging out the rock. And so we quickly started seeing that we were settling into a pickle. I don't even like pickles. This was turning out to be a really bad thing. Obviously, all of this was very slow. It was calling every other day, checking to see what was going on, what was the holdup, why did we not have funds yet, just trying to be diligent about it. And it was really starting to settle in that something was wrong. Like we were not going to get this. And then one night I got a call that the whole deal was falling through, that we were not going to be able to get this financing. We did not have money. Meanwhile, the guys were almost done digging out the basement and the house hole. And this was just crushing news to us. We've waited years to build this, and we thought we did so much diligence ahead of time. And that's something, frankly, that I felt a little ashamed about. There's an airplane going over. A little bit loud there, buddy. There's a little airport about a mile that way. Little bitty airport. Okay. Frankly, it was something that I was a little bit ashamed about because I don't know, I felt like I had done our diligence ahead of time, vetting this company and figuring out that it was legit and all of that. And now with this crashing down, it just made me look like a fool. And Rebecca says no, that we definitely, you know, did as much checking as we felt was diligent ahead of time, and we would not have proceeded. We're just not this type of people. We would not have proceeded if we didn't feel like we had the money coming. But man, what hard news to take. At this point, we see that this is totally falling through with that company, and we're going to have to secure financing from some other source. So we instantly start putting out feelers, putting out applications, going through that whole loan application process for construction loan. Company after company keeps denying us. Our debt to income was out of whack. We just didn't make enough for, I guess, what we were asking for. And one by one, these companies kept saying, no, we will not lend you the money. No, we will not lend you the money. At this point, the excavator, who has already done the work and completed it, is getting nervous and asking, hey, when am I going to get paid? And I totally understand that. So we were frantically pushing to find other financing quickly so that, one, there was not a gap in the build, you know, that we could get right on it so that we didn't have erosion or cave-ins or anything from where they'd already dug. And the other thing was to get them paid in a timely manner. it just seemed like we were never going to be able to do this. I was getting really defeated at this point. I was really wondering, you know, what do we do now? There's a hole where the house is going to go. We owe money to the excavator. We did not have that money to pay them. You know, the rainy season is starting in. We're heading into winter. And I don't know, it was so defeating just to constantly be doing applications with another financial institution and another bank and another credit union and another this and that. And for them to say, no, you don't make enough. No. I'm convinced that what it boils down to is they really don't like self-employed people. It's risky for the financial institutions, and this was too much of a chance because we had a note for the land and we already had a note for the house that we live in. That's the whole thing, is we were trying to do this without selling the house we live in. So this kept on for months and months. I was having calls with the excavator at this point, you know, basically just man to man, saying, he's asking, what's the plan here? And I'm like, I plan on paying you. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I'm still applying. Basically from October through about mid-February, there were not 2 days that I was not talking to someone at a financial institution, if not multiples. So all throughout the week, for all of those weeks, however long that is. And I told this excavator, the guy that owns the company, we spoke on the phone because he was wondering if I was just going to bail on him if we're going to do that. And I told him, no, I plan on paying you. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we're scrimping and saving right now. I'm working extra so that if we can't get another loan to come through, maybe we end up just saving up for it eventually. I don't know if I could work extra, I could do that, but I didn't know how feasible that was, but he was very gracious and trusted me to be able to do that. And I'm very, very thankful that he did. We eventually got connected to a credit union here locally and went through the process with them, applying again the same way we have done many other times. And rather than just a denial, they came back with a counteroffer and said, we can't give you the full amount you're asking for, but we will give you this amount. And at that point, we had to kind of pivot and say, we can't build the whole project this way. What do we do? So we still don't have all those answers figured out, but we decided to go that route, take their funding. I could get the excavator paid. I met him one day, not too long after that. We closed a couple weeks after that, and I kept him in the loop and handed him a check and thanked him for his patience and being gracious with us, because it really did mean a lot and helped us out a lot. Got him paid. He wished us luck, which I thought was really nice. He even texted me that evening again, just saying, good luck with your project. Thanks for being, you know, a man of your word. And so we don't know everything that's next. He's paid, and we are progressing ahead now, getting as far as we can. And at some point, we're going to have to figure out what we're doing as far as selling our house so that we can get we have a lot of equity in our house, so we can get the rest of the equity out of our house to put toward this project. So anyway, what an ordeal it's been. Thank you for following along on the videos. It felt like I owed you a little bit of an explanation. Leave comments down below if you have other questions about it. I'll try to answer anything I can. Maybe it can help prevent something similar happening with other people. I don't know, when that all started falling through, I had to get some legal advice. I went all the way to the state attorney because of how this had happened. Some local attorneys also, because it ended up being a civil matter because there was nothing criminal at that point. And just trying to scramble and make sure with real estate attorneys that nothing had been transferred out of our names, that the titles had not been retitled. Luckily, none of the title work was done like they said they were going to do, and that kind of thing. So the deeds were still in our name, and all of that ended up being fine. Oh, but man, what an ordeal. Anyway, yeah, if you have questions, leave them below. Thanks. I'll have some more videos coming real soon. I've got more projects lined up, and as they progress, I'll take you along with us.